Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's get back to the Zim dollar. Man, it's crazy how people are passionate about the Zim dollar. I can't tell you how many times I've been attacked over which currency is the right currency. They got all these stories about it says bond on the back and this and that. And I say, oh my gosh, man, you really got to read the back of the note because it says must be redeemed by this date in this year. And then I get all these stories about, well, they can't say what they can and can't do with the bond and blah, blah, blah. So, like I said, everybody out there has different opinions. I'll share mine. If you don't like it, I understand. You have been told something about the Zim dollar that you believe. Who am I to tell you otherwise? All I can do is share my information. Hopefully people get educated, and information saves them a ton of heartache and a ton of money. All right. Now, I myself do not have any Zim dollars. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold and silver, go to our friends over at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and you will get a free half ounce of silver. Okay, as I stated before, if I come across any interesting news regarding the Zim dollar, I will share it with you guys. So this little article came out, 23 hours ago. So not too bad. It says Zim crisis batters property markets. Of course it's going to. If the money has no value, then it's going to affect those things of value. It says plummeting disposable income have battered sales of residential properties in Zimbabwe. Real estate firm Knight Frank Zimbabwe said this week. Now here's something interesting about that. I'm noticing that people all around the world are having real estate issues. A friend of mine owed some back payments, and her particular mortgage company had recommended another company that can assist her qualify for a program in which they would help her get caught up on her payments. Except for she's been going through hell trying to get it done. Meanwhile, the payments keep adding up, and before long, the fear is, of course, that the house gets foreclosed on. And so she's telling the lender that, hey, I'm working with this company, but they're hard to catch. And then come to find out they're under two different names, which is funny because one of the company's names that they're under is wanting us to send them proof that they're both one of the same companies, even though they share the same address. I hope that makes sense. So I was thinking to myself, why are they doing this? What the heck is really going on? It almost appears as if a lot of these lending companies are purposely going out of the way to make things hard for people so that they can't get caught up or they fail at recovery programs and lose property. It's just what it appears like to me. So all around the world, of course, we're having issues with property. And I just think, again, that's part of that bigger plan. What is their slogan? You will own nothing and you will be happy. That's the World Economic Forum. It says hyperinflation has returned to haunt Zimbabwe 14 years after the country was forced to ditch its currency when the inflation rate hit 500 billion %. And that was according to the International Monetary Fund. 500 billion %. Man, that's just... My thing is, I understand how it works, but my thing is this. How can inflation get that out of control? Seriously, I mean, I know what happened. They were short on money and then everything went crazy. But here's my thing. The governments know what they're doing. They absolutely do. They know how much money they're printing. They know what it does to the actual currency itself. I just don't understand how a country that's this rich, how their people can become this poor. 500 billion % according to the International Monetary Fund. Like in 2008, Zimbabwe is experiencing foreign currency shortage, which have triggered turbulence worsened by currency fragility that have led to low disposable incomes. So remember I was talking about for the Iraqi dinar, it's just good that they're building up their foreign currency reserves because it helps strengthen the dinar. This is how it does it. In its Africa report 2022-23, Knight Frank said depressed demands have been compounded by sellers' push for trade in foreign currencies. These people, these governments need to grab control of what's going on and say you are not allowed to use any other currency. And I know they do have that law there, but they don't enforce it. As a matter of fact, the government violates its own laws. So you got to lead by example, man. You just got to do it. Do whatever it takes to strengthen the currency. Said, but the Zimbabwean market is dominated by local currency clients, as the majority of Zimbabweans have no access to foreign currency. The mortgage market has been weak, and most buyers have to find cash to acquire property. Sellers of goods and services in a cross section of the economy have turned to the United States dollar transactions to avoid loss of value. Knight Frank, managing director of Saiza Masuku, said in contrast to the troubles facing residential property dealers, the suburban office segment was booming. The country's biggest firms have recently been trooping out of the central business district, which have been swamped by informal traders who operate from pavement and property interests. In other words, street hustlers. He says some consumers facing business have relocated, citing depressed trading after informal traders camped on shops' front to sell cheaper goods. Hyperinflation and foreign currency shortages are affecting economic stability, resulting in erosion of the real disposable incomes and hence negativity impacting confidence levels. The real estate market remains in limbo. However, the suburban office market remains buoyant due to the ongoing relocation activity away from the CBD. And you can see right here in this part of the article, it says firms have been downsizing occupied space in buildings to manage surging costs. Since the RONA explosion 2 years ago, many firms directed employees to work from home to avoid contagion, leading to a reduction of occupied space, which is all part of that great reset. You can go over there and see the plans that they had laid out. They want people to work from home, kids to learn from home. I mean, it's crazy stuff. So the economic crisis is set to offset Zimbabwe's target of delivering more houses to citizens under the Vision 2030 strategy, according to Knight Frank. It's funny how all these countries have this 2030 agenda, which magically all lines up with the World Economic Forum. Under the National Development Strategy, Zimbabwe is expected to deliver 220,000 housing units by 2025. This is expected to be achieved through collective efforts by stakeholders. See them use the terms? Those are those Build Back Better terms. The Great Reset, the World Economic Forum, they call them stakeholders. And all parties involved in the human settlements delivery. So obviously Zimbabwe is still struggling with their currency. You can see right here the annual inflation, which touched 50.1% in June last year, surged to 256% last month. However, it's not only Zimbabwe property market that has been affected. The report said that Tanzania is also experiencing depressed performance in the residential property market. So according to a report, residential lease rates across Tanzania has slipped by close to 50% over the last 2 years as an oversupply of rental properties combined with weakened demand, largely due to the RONA, has undermined the market. And then pretty soon they won't be able to make their payments, and some company like BlackRock will come in, offer 3-4 times the value of the property, and start buying up everything that everybody owns. But to the contrary, the residential market firmly in recovery mode in Uganda, as evidenced by high demand and rental indicators, the report noted. And down here at the bottom, I wanted to point this out. Look at the pandemic, the devaluation of Algerian dinar. So that's another country who had to devalue their currency. I think all in all now there's 27 nations that have devalued their currency. Really, I mean, it's just the writing's on the wall. You can see there's a bigger agenda being played out. They don't want people to have any type of confidence in their local currencies, so they can introduce a central bank digital currency. They want everybody homeless, or as many of you as possible, so then they can provide you with the housing that they bought up. They want you to take their medicine so you can help fight a disease that they created. And oh, by the way, the world's overall population is slowly diminishing. Anyways, that is it for now. It looks like the Zim dollar is still losing its value. Zimbabwe doesn't have an actual official currency. I've said this before, and somebody wanted to argue with me about it. I had to show them on a website where it says this. This currency that you see here in the picture is the chosen currency that the government selected to just use locally. They do not have an internationally recognized currency. Anyways, that's it for now. Let me know what you think. Hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.